What's up, guys? Welcome back to Dead Malls, your weekly dose of malls and everything retail. And welcome everyone to our final day of the Michigan expedition. Welcome all to day 4, the finale of our great expedition, and in my opinion, the most exciting day. Hint hint at episode 14. Milwaukee. But welcome everyone to the Upper Peninsula, the hidden jewel of the United States, a land untouched of interstates and sprawl, and instead inhabited by pine tree forests, moose, cold beaches, and one of the most incredible 80s mall time capsules of all time, Delta Plaza Mall. A mall I didn't really know what I would be getting into once I was inside, but a mall that nonetheless blew my mind, not only in the looks, but in the history and the architecture. Before we get started today, I'd like to congratulate our winner who is able to successfully guess the next mall. Very nice job, Yankton Rail fan. If you would like to have your chance at being next week's shoutout, stick around for the next challenge. Anyways, let's hop in here, take a look, and tell the story of the UP's hidden neon wonderland. Delta Plaza's story is one of shrouded mystery. I'm sure if you're a longtime native of the city, you'll remember that this was once the place where everyone shopped and hung out. And you probably know a lot more than the rest of the internet, but I'll give it my best go. And it goes like this. Our story begins in the small mining town of Escabana, Michigan in the late 1960s. Big Box was sprouting up, and the town was thriving at its peak population of just over 15,000 people, just barely in the range of maybe getting its own shopping center. And that it would. The Gamble Development Company would buy up some farmland just to the west of downtown and begin planning their shopping center. Albeit this wasn't really a gamble, as the mall would be more of a glorified hallway between its 3 anchor stores. But in the UP, you get what you can take. So, as construction would begin with an opening date scheduled for 1970, the public excitement for a new mall would grow. While I walked the length of the mall, down here by the old Shopco, I was surrounded by junk. I don't know if the mall was storing things in this area, but you could just go back here, see the dusty Christmas trees, and there were 2 groups of people walking near me while I was here. A group of gentlemen explaining what each store was, and a father and his 2 girls telling them about how great the mall used to be. In November of 1970, Delta Plaza Mall would officially open for business. Upon opening day, residents from town flocked to its stores in search of a revolutionary shopping experience. What they found sandwiched between anchors Woolworth and Red Owl Grocery were stores like Blue Boy Ice Cream, Children's World, Merle Norman, Noble Shoes, and Walter Gray. This wasn't your average super regional mall. You didn't have the big names here. It was a small town mall and a community hotspot, and would continue to be like that for over a decade without much change. Shopco would join the lineup soon after opening, however I'm not sure if that opened up into the mall or not, but it was connected to the rest of the structure. It wasn't until the 80s when the first changes came. In the mid to late 80s, both Red Owl and Woolworth would be forced to close their Delta Plaza anchors in bankruptcy almost simultaneously. This sounds bad, but mall owners saw this as the chance to expand the mall into more than just a community hub, and so the 1980s renovation would take place. Overnight, the mall would essentially be remade into the 80s paradise you see today. A massive westward wing would open with dozens of new stores, with all of this expansion happening in the old Shopco, which would be gutted and pushed further west into a brand new location. But that wasn't all. Menards would open as a new anchor in the old Woolworths, and Red Owl would be completely gutted and cut in half for more mall space and a brand new JCPenney as the mall's third anchor. Stores to open included Musicland, the UP Arcade, Claire's, Maurice's, Fashion Bug, Kindy Optical, and GNC, among several others. But the most striking feature was the brand new neon-lit food court, featuring 5 bays. After all of these additions and renovations, you would think Delta Plaza Mall would be set for the foreseeable future, but a big box mall in Escabana was doomed from the start. By 2000, Escanaba had lost over 2,000 in population. The UP's economy, almost statewide over the years, was based on its iron and copper mining and exporting, and most mines had closed by then, leaving thousands without jobs and moving away. In the mall, stores would leave in droves as people just weren't going to the mall anymore. This would be furthered by the recession. The neon-lit wonders of the 80s, Sam Goody, the Arcade, Vanity, Rappaport's, and Joanne, all gone, and most of them would just be abandoned. The food court, which was supposed to be the mall's centerpiece for the foreseeable future, would only ever have a couple of its spaces filled in its lifetime, so just know that some of these dust-covered countertops of these 80s-esque stalls were never occupied. One thing I love about Delta Plaza is the abandoned yet open state it gives off. It's open with the lights on and a small handful of stores operating, but it's full of junk, flickering dying neons, and stained carpets. And you can just feel the 80s here, from the turquoise tiles to the glass blocks everywhere, and just the shapes and angles of the ceilings. Everything about this sad, forgotten mall feels like a memory of a better time. Menards would leave in the early 2010s for a brand new supercenter just down the road, and going forth it would all fall apart. In 2012, their Facebook would be updated for the last time, with their website shutting down around the same time. In 2013, the mall would be foreclosed upon after failures to make basic payments. It was dire, and walking through the mall, what few people that did go were left with this dark, musty atmosphere, stained carpets, and dozens of gated-off storefronts. In 2016, the Dial Company would buy the mall, putting forth a redevelopment plan in 2018. However, JCPenney was already gone, being the last JCPenney left in the UP. Shopko would follow shortly after, and it was seemingly too late to save any semblance of Delta Plaza. As of 2023, the mall does not exist like it did during my visit. Sadly, all of the food court and almost all of the 1980s addition were gutted shortly after I left for a new front-facing Dunham's. JCPenney has been subdivided into a few front-facing shops, all walled off from the mall. Hobby Lobby is open in the old Menards, and almost every entrance into the mall, except for the main, has been choked off. And truly, it's only a matter of time before the rest is gutted. So what do you think the future holds for Delta Plaza? Is it grim and only a matter of time until the rest of the mall meets the fate of the Grim Reaper? Or is there still hope for this once proud and life-filled shopping center of the UP? Let me know your thoughts down below. If any of you are ever in the area, stop by what little is left of the mall and support some of the local businesses, or just reminisce in what once was. Guys, I want to thank you so much for watching today's episode. I literally could not stop thinking of those neons after I left, and I don't think I ever will forget them. If you guys enjoy my Dead Mall content, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on future Dead Malls episodes. And head over to the newly revised Patreon for the latest exclusive content and a Dead Mall Polaroid taken and signed by me. Next week, as we head just across the border, we check out a mall from liminal hell with a very peculiar flower pattern on the skylights. Guess which mall we'll be at, and I'll shout you out in the next episode. Anyways, until then, have yourselves a lovely day, and peace out guys, see you later.